Good evening, televiewers. You're welcome to another edition of Prime Hour on my Media Prime TV. My name is Kum Leonard for presentation. This evening, we're going to be looking at the call made by the Cameroon Renaissance movement to Issa Chiroma Bakari and Bello Buba Maigari to form a coalition before they can endorse them. We're going to be looking at the implication of this call by the CRM on both the campaigns and the electoral process as a whole. If time permits, we also are going to be looking at the candidates who are going for this year's presidential election. We are going to be looking at the chances they stand to become next president of this nation after the elections of October the 12th, 2025. We are going to be discussing this with my panelists who are with me in the studio. We have Professor Mark Akumbo. We are glad to have you. He is a Pan-Africanist and also very active with Cameroon's civil society.
Thank you very much, Mr. Liu. Good evening to my fellow panelists. Good evening to Cameroonians and Africans as a whole. It is indeed a pleasure to be here today. It is going to be an educative evening because we'll be discussing on important issues that concern Cameroonians as well as the upcoming presidential election. Thank you.
We also are here with Sir Mutaga, who is special advisor to Professor Maurice Kamto, who was the former president of the Cameroon Renaissance Party. We are glad to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Kum Leonard, and good evening to my co-panelists. Good evening to the millions of televiewers of my Media Prime TV, especially those of this particular program, Prime Hour. Permit me use this opportunity to greet the people of Kruku village in Batibo subdivision, and also to greet my staunch followers, those who love from Mora, those who love from Tokumbere, those who love from Ngaoundre, and were in Yaoundé on the 6th of September 2025 during the National Council meeting of the CRM.
Okay, Long Lablashus is also part of our tonight's edition of the program. He's a clergy, also a political analyst and key member of Cameroon Civil Society. Glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you, Kum Leonard. Good evening to you, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Good evening to our televiewers. Good evening to Cameroon and all Cameroonians. Thank you.
Okay, since we have an official of the Cameroon Renaissance movement with us in the studio, we start with you, since we are looking at the call that was issued yesterday by the interim president of the CRM, Mamadou Mota, calling on Issa Chiroma Bakari and Bello Buba Maigari to come together before the CRM can endorse any party for these elections. Yes, many persons are asking why this position when all they were expecting from you guys was just to say, oh, we are going for A or B.
Mr. Kamto, Leonard, thank you so immensely for this question. I know many Cameroonians are scotched to their TV set this evening and are really ready to hear from me as a special advisor to Professor Maurice Kamto why the interim president, Mamadou Mota, had to come out with that communique. The first thing we note is that the communique is not a novelty. It just came up to reinforce the position of the party. You remember last 6th of September 2025 during the National Council meeting of the CRM, because the National Council of the CRM is the second largest instance of the party after the convention, and the text of the party said the National Council can sit and take decisions which could likely be taken by the convention. So between two conventions, the National Council can hold. So the same National Council was the instance that took the decision on the 26th of October 2020, that's 26th of March, certainly 2024, to give Professor Maurice Kamto the different or the powers to ensure that he looks at the most appropriate method in which he could submit his candidature to the Electoral Council of ELECAM for the 2025 presidential election. So that same council had to sit on the 6th of September 2025. And one of the resolutions that we arrived at, because I'm a member of the National Council, was that for the CRM to make an official pronouncement, to make an official pronouncement concerning the candidates going in for the 2025 presidential elections, we needed a large coalition, or a coalition of about 2 or 3 of the major political parties of the opposition that are going in for the 2025 presidential elections. So yesterday, when Engineer Mamadou Moutad made that communique, was just reinforcing it. It's not just that he decided to do so abruptly, because the CRM has been very impatient. Remember that Professor Maurice Kamto has been receiving most of these presidential aspirants at his residence in Santa Barbara. He has so far received Issa Chiroma, he has received Bello Magari, has received Barrister Akeremuna, he has received Tumanum Damjoya, Ateki Seta. He has equally received, I'm sure, Yodi. So those are the number of Cameroonians who have gone to his place and they have dialogued with him. And one of the things he has always made clear to them was that we are in 2025. And that 2025 is a year where we ought not to be dispersing our energies. Now, looking at the northern candidates, when I talk the candidates of the northern region, we are talking of Issa Chiroma, Bakari, and Bello Boba. You understand that the north alone has about, I'm sure, about 30% of the total electorates that will be going in for the 2025 presidential elections. And we thought wise that it was expedient for us to talk to them, explain the need, why the two of them have to come together. Because you don't forget that history holds it that President Pobi has always won elections in this nation because of the input or the percentage call that he makes in the northern region. So to avoid that the split of the electorate among maybe the major parties, we talk of Issa Chiroma, Bakari, Bello Buba, and let's get even to other political parties that might grapple seats, maybe voters' confidence in that region. It was normal for the two big whips, that they call them, from the northern regions to come together in a coalition. And with that, the CRM will pronounce, because the CRM is not just only interested in maybe throwing its support to a presidential candidate simply because we think that the candidate is pulling crowd or we need to animate. We are past the stage of animating the gallery or maybe just animating the political scene. We want to have concrete evidence of a political struggle this year, and that can only be done through a coalition, especially between Issa Chiroma and Bello Buba. Now, before the National Council of the CRM, you find that most militants of the CRM, even cadres of the CRM, were even talking of a coalition between other political leaders or among political leaders of the competing class, those who are going in for the 2025 presidential election. I personally proposed that if it were possible, we wanted Joshua Osinabange and Ateki Seta and even the talk of Joshua Akeremuna, who are candidates of the Anglophone regions. If the three of them came together, Mr. Kum Leonard, honestly speaking, the story would have been different today, because I personally, I wrote to them. We have a forum where some of them are there. I wrote to them in that forum, and I spoke to them that at this particular juncture, the CRM is ready to support any of you, three at least, who can come together and take the lead. It was like a child's play. I even proposed to other candidates, maybe take the candidate from the Electoral and the center. You know them. We have Cabral Libi, I think we have
Stage Espoir
Stage Espoir Matomba.
Okay.
So I said that let this come together. If they came together, I think the CRM would have already pronounced on it.
Yes.
But since there had been delay tactics, I think at this particular juncture, the CRM would not be deceiving Cameroonians that we can say, okay, let's just support Issa Chiroma or we support Bello Boba, because we know even on the eve of the election, they can still one of them can still surrender his support to another person. So we expect that at any time they will be ready to do so. The CRM will be more than willing to make a statement.
Do you understand this position about the CRM at this juncture?
You know, when Semutanga is talking, I'm actually feeling disappointed. Why? Okay. Because I'm asking myself, if this was Maurice Kamto, would he have even accepted to form a coalition with anybody at this hour? Would he even accept to submit himself to anybody? And I'm not seeing a possibility. So the question is, why is the MRC trying to use imposition to endorse a candidate? That to me is not the best part, because I think that if in case they had a plan to endorse a candidate, the moment you give your go ahead to somebody, the people falls behind him. That's what empowers that individual. When the way you are discussing this issue is like a tribal kind of stuff that you are bringing into it. It is not a tribal election where two candidates from the north needs to come together before it becomes they endorse them. No, it's wrong. So I think that in my own view, endorsing a candidate should not be based on conditions that you give. It is either you endorse or you don't endorse. Because from what I'm seeing, I can boldly say that it seems as if the part that the MRC is taking is playing a game of actually manipulating Cameroonians to feel they are engaged when they are truly not engaged. They don't care what happens. And so at the end of the day, I am trying to ask, is it selfishness in their part, or is it like they actually intend to help this Cameroonian solve the problem that is at hand? If it was the MRC, where would we have been right now? Were we supposed to wait also and say, okay, until you, because there is Kwame, who is also Pierre, who is also a Bamileke, who say, okay, Kamto needs to come to a coalition with Kwemo before there is an endorsement. That seems as if we are making it tribal. To me, for me, that is wrong. So I think that if you look at these two guys from the north, one of them he's already creating the necessary momentum that is needed for a push to take place. But when a major political, let me say colleague, who is supposed to say, okay, I've seen what you are doing, I'm coming in, let me just give you a push, I endorse you so that this and that can happen. I've seen Barrister Alice come endorse without asking for anything. I've seen others endorse without asking for anything.
Professor Abba Oyono.
Even Oyono, who was recently appointed by
special advisor
by Mota to be special advisor, actually endorsed
Abba Oyono. From which political party is he from?
Is he whether he's from which political party? Was he not recently appointed special advisor?
Yeah, I'm asking which political party does he belong to?
Was he not with MRC recently?
He was or is?
Whether he is or was, I don't care to know. But all I know is that those are people that were appointed within the MRC to stand as special advisors, and if they can turn and say, okay, no, I'm going with this guy, and they were in Bavusam yesterday. So the question is, why then should the head, which is supposed to lead the rest of the body, choose to stay apart? Mr. Leo, I think there is another agenda behind that.
Okay.
But that is not my interest here. My interest is, at this moment, Cameroon is in dire need of this push. You know, I have told people one of the things we should get to understand about this election is that it's not just a presidential election. It's an election with an agenda for change.
Okay.
And if we cannot look into that, we will create a schism that is not necessary.
Okay, Mr. Reverend Longla. Sorry for calling you Mr. Yes, you have listened to the special advisor to Professor Maurice Kamto explain the rationale behind the position taken by the CRM. Do you understand why they have to force these two giants from the northern part of Cameroon to come together?
Mr. Leo, thank you for that wonderful questions. I will start by saying that what I have discovered, first of all, with the MRC or Maurice Kamto, like what Professor Mark Anthony just said, there is something we call bias in everything that the MRC are trying to play. You know, some of us as political analysts, some of us as observers, we have tried to follow all the happenings on the ground. And before now, Mr. Leo, we thought that the MRC could have been, or Maurice Kamto could have been acting like a referee that would try to put everything in order, even after when Electoral pushed them out of the game. But at the end of the day, we discovered that even what happened in 2018 with Maurice Kamto and Barrister Chiroma, because Barrister Chiroma did something very, very historic by endorsing Maurice Kamto openly and before all Cameroonians. And we thought that maybe after Maurice Kamto must have discovered that, oh, he is not part of the game, immediately he could have submit under one of these political candidates. But then, at the end of the day, we have realized that Maurice Kamto is instead playing a game of hide and seek. We don't know where they are. But Mr. Leo, something is happening, because I watched a video on social media, Mr. Leo. I watched, I think the Minister of Territorial Administrations have been moving from one region to another to talk with the governors, to talk with the senior divisional officers, the divisional officers, and he made a statement. He said, this is not the time when people or some candidate need to say we need a unique candidate, because the ballot paper is already out. And then at the end of the day, he said the governors, the divisional officers, and the mayors, or those that are in charge of the regions, they should make sure that in each polling stations there should be 12.
Yeah, but that's the law. That's normal.
But now we are in a period where it is just few days that is remaining, Mr. Leo. And if at this point in time the MRC, they are still standing to say that let the two, that's Chiroma and Bello, they should come together before they can endorse them, then I think that there is a bias, or there is something fishy behind it.
Mutaga, now, why can't the CRM simply endorse Bello or Chiroma?
Mr. Leo, thank you so much for that question. What I will say here is this. Permit me maybe clarify the audience also are listening with regard to certain utterances that have been made by my co-panelists. I said here that the position of the engineer Mamadou Mota yesterday is not a novelty. He just had to reiterate the position of the CRM. That position was since the 6th of September 2025 during the National Council meeting. And you find that in recent outings, Professor Maurice Kamto, to whom most Cameroonians have been expecting maybe a word, he said that he expects that those who are going in for the 2025 presidential election, the candidate ought to be feeling the pain more than he who has been arbitrarily denied the chance to run for the 2025 presidential election. If you hear today people say Professor Maurice Kamto doesn't want to endorse a candidate, he's been biased and all the like, I think that the very first thing Cameroonians ought to be doing, it would have been tendering the apology to Professor Maurice Kamto for being inactive, first of all, after the rejection of his candidature by the Constitutional Council, honestly speaking, we expected at least maybe a popular indignation from the people, knowing that the CRM had been in the center of all the mobilization of Cameroonians to register on the electoral list and has been with the people since the last presidential elections. Most of us have all been arbitrarily arrested and dumped in prison. And if you want to take the recent case, personally, I was arrested on the 4th of October, or 1st of August, excuse me, just a few meters away from the Constitutional Council, in a supermarket that I sat there just to get a bottle of drink. 59 of us were dumped in cell. We don't get any condemnation from any of the political leaders that are running in for the 2025 presidential elections. I think it's something that we need to condemn too. So now, if you're asking me today, why is it that the CRM doesn't want to endorse one of these candidates, I would ask you this question. Are the elections already over? We are talking about elections that are still going to be.
No, the statement we are discussing based on the statement made by your party yesterday. The statement says that you are only going to endorse after the coming together of Bello and
Engineer Mamadou Mota just had to reiterate the position of the party. He's reiterating the position of the party. I think that it was a motion from the National Council to ensure that we do not disperse, we did not waste our votes during the upcoming presidential elections, looking at the fact that the two major candidates, whom you yourself, you have said it here emphatically, that the major candidate, the heavyweights, are Chiroma and Bello. I think Cameroonians ought to instead have been pressing the CRM, because the CRM had been pressurizing that the two should come together so that we don't lose our votes during the 2025 presidential election. No, the opposite is what they are just doing, and it has always been like that. Placing the CRM at the center, doing everything possible to diabolize Professor Maurice Kamto for whatever reason, I don't know, and especially by the intellectual class. I said that Professor Kamto has been consulting with these people since the rejection of his candidature by the Constitutional Council. The question is that you would have been asking, what have they been discussing? Because these people have gone to his place.
The question Barrister, can you just come in? The question I want to ask is that it is very evident that persons in the north who call themselves the notables of the north, elders of the far north, they are calling on Chiroma to back Bello. And then, yes, but Chiroma comes out day before yesterday on TV and states categorically that he wants Bello to back him up, which means that we may end up never having them working together. Are we saying that should this position be maintained, the CRM is going to stay put and not endorse any other candidate?
Professor Mark Akumbom and Dr. And the Reverend, what I would say in response to the question from moderator, Mr. Kumilionat, is that the CRM is a political party. It is not just an individual. Contrary to Alice Komda, he cited, contrary to some individuals of the CRM that can detach themselves and make utterances which might not reflect the ideologies of the party. I said that at this particular juncture, the CRM maintains that for a landslide victory in the upcoming presidential elections, it is important for Chiroma and Bello, who are the major crowd pullers, to come together. And if Mamadou Mota reiterated the position of the CRM, is because we know that when the campaign will officially be launched, it will be difficult for anybody to ask Minat and Elekam not to send the ballot of the political
whether you like it or not. No. Whether you like it or not, the ballots are going to be there.
Coming to what he said about Barrister Akaremuna supporting Professor Maurice Kamto, you will understand that this is the same hide and seek that happened during the 2018 presidential election, where after the launching of campaign, Barrister Akaremuna on the eve of election decided to withdraw his candidature, and then finally his ballots were sent into the field, and then he had to make a score which reflected his weight on the 2018 presidential elections. Now, coming to the 2025 presidential election, I said the CRM remains vigilant. The CRM remains very, very frank that we want a coalition, even it would be the type that Barrister Chiroma did in 2018. It will be very important, especially from the major opposition leaders, Bello Buba and Chiroma. Now, somebody said that we want to make the issue of coalition tribalistic. Let me say something concerning that. You find if I talk of Chiroma, Joshua Osi and Ateki coming together is because if they say they are from the English-speaking regions and they have the interests of the Anglophone at heart and they want an Anglophone to be the next president of the Republic, as most of our brothers have been canvassing for, they should be able to present a unique candidate that is capable of projecting the aspirations of the Anglophone. By so doing, it was just going to be a smart move from them to be the very first, so as to pull the attention of the CRM, because that was the very first thing we were saying on the onset of the issue of coalition. Now, we want to say...
No, you are monopolizing.
Okay, thank you.
At least we have so many persons here. We've just been joined by Barrister Akwen, who was certainly caught in traffic, but I was also afraid because she has a cold. I was afraid that maybe we are glad to have you with us, and your first reaction to the call by the CRM imposing on both Bello Buba and Chiroma to come together before they can endorse, and also the fact that other parties were sidelined from this discussion. Their focus is on these two guys. Are they undermining the other political parties?
First of all, good evening to Mr. Leo, good evening to all the panelists and to our viewers. We received that information with mixed feelings. You know, I'm always having a mixed feelings when, as far as MRC is concerned, because they cannot tell us any reason why they decided to hold their supposed militants hostage and giving conditions for them to support this or that party. I first of all think that an individual has the will to choose where he or she wants to belong. And joining MRC was an option, it was not an obligation. For MRC to continue to hold its militant captive and giving condition that except X or Z, they form a coalition, that is a kind of political gimmicks that looks so selfish. It is not liberal. If we are talking about liberal democracy and the integrity of Professor Maurice Kamto, whom I so much respect, then he should have asked his people that, okay, look and see who you think that you can join. Because it's a matter for now, is just to go and vote. Because the presidency, we need just one candidate. For now, it is just to go and vote. It is not to stay in the party. At such time that they will regularize their situation, they come back. And then looking at the modus in which they are pointing their fingers, you see that they will say, oh, Bello Buba and Chiroma. Why are they going only to up north and leaving this west and the center and the middle belts? Why do you abandon some and then you are citing some? It is like they are doing a kind of transaction that they are seeing. It's like a soothsayer saying that, okay, from the look of things, this one can be more probable, and then if we go there, you see, they are giving and taking at the same time. It is like you're selling the goat and holding the rope at the same time, because you are giving condition, except these two come together. Then I can tell my followers, please join them, which is not supposed to be so in a free democracy, in a democratic system. People are allowed to choose. But then when you look at it, it is like they are trying to do a kind of business transaction that, okay, to what extent are we sure? Which means that if these people do not form the coalition, are you saying that you're going to hold your militants from voting, whereas they have registered with Electoral? That is the big question that I would like that MRC should answer. And those who believe in their almighty Lord and Savior, Professor Maurice Kamto, they have a right to believe in him. But are you saying that you hold people's civic right ransom because they are not taking the direction that you want for the reason that you want it? We all know that politics is a game of interest, but at least at some point we should be rational in our thinking. We should be liberal, especially because all their manifesto says they are going to effect a change. How can you effect a change in a situation where you still have a grip on a people? You see that it doesn't sound well in the minds of the intellectuals that you said they are the people criticizing. We are not criticizing. What we are doing, we are actually correcting something that we find that it is not correct. And when you say, "Wait, excuse me," that it is a proud they don't know. I didn't interrupt you when you were talking, and so let us maintain some decorum, please. Let's maintain some decorum. When you were talking, I was listening. By the time you said intellectuals they are criticizing, it's because we can see beyond what the ordinary man can see. We can reach the line, the letter on the line, whereas an ordinary man will not see that. And when you call some people some crowd pullers, remember that in 1990, 1991, 1992, when SDF took over, the crowd that they were pulling, I can remember even when Chassé de Leon, Jean-Jacques Ekindi came to Bamenda, the crowd that they pulled, he would have thought that everybody, though that crowd was going to vote for him. But unfortunately, I cannot even, if he secured even up to 500 votes in the whole of the Northwest region. So, but when we see crowd, the crowd is just telling us that the people are certainly tired of a system and they want a change. So they ask, what is this man coming to tell us that is different from what we have been hearing? Can he actually be the savior? But what MRC is doing, they are just playing a gimmicks. Yes. They are just playing a gimmicks. And you see, the Bamileke man knows he doesn't give where he cannot take. No, he will not give when you cannot take. And when you are, it is not tribal, they don't give. A Bamileke man, what does he want? A Bamileke man, any politician should know that anybody who is for a Bamileke man, you protect his business, you protect his property. So you must provide those policies that enable his business to thrive and his property to stay to stay without being damaged. Or yes, you have to give him a serene atmosphere for his business and his property to thrive, which is security. That is the first thing that they want. And anybody who will promise them that, whether the person can deliver or not deliver, I always say, Cameroonians, we know our problems. Coming to give us the narrative of our problems is like a prophet. Those prophets coming to tell you, oh, your mother, you were born, you are the third born of your house. So what? What is the solution to my problem? How do you intend to solve the problem? The how is what they should be telling Cameroonians, and how feasible, how probable, how practical and pragmatic it is for them to be able to solve that problem. That is what politicians should be telling us. Crowd pulling or not crowd pulling, there's a difference between crowd pulling and difference between strategy.
Okay. Now, Prof. Mark, do you see these two guys coming together? Bello and Issa Chiroma?
From every indication, there's not going to be any coming together between these two.
Why?
Why do I say so? You are not a journalist, so please don't question me again. If you look at the situation when the call came from the so-called Sash the North, the elders, yes, of the North, from Marwa, asking Issa Chiroma to submit to the experience of Bello Buba. The next day, Bello Buba, Issa Chiroma was on TV to call Bello to submit to him the same way he did in '92, so that they can fight together. Then I heard Bello on RFA promising that he is going to create, in fact, since the people want, he is ready for a consensus and he will talk with Issa Chiroma. But they had had a talk before. And still telling people that they will have a talk is a kind of delay tactics. Let me be sincere. Both of them are going to run and do campaigns. I'm sure campaigns will be launched this weekend. And if we are using the electoral code to look at things, you realize that the moment you engage in campaign, they are expecting they'll give them their campaign money on Monday. And once they give you that campaign money, you must justify that campaign money by going out to campaign, then run for the election. Because according to I think at Article 286, subsection 2, it says if any candidate after having collected this money does not participate or withdraws, such a candidate will be forced to pay back the money in full, which implies that some of them who are claiming that they are we are discussing, they are actually waiting to collect their campaign money. And when they collect the campaign money on Monday, forget about any issue of somebody will withdraw to come and back another. We are.
So what happened? But Barrister Chiroma collected same money, but finally ended up endorsing.
No, he will pay according to the.
No. During the last elections, 2018.
He collected the money.
Yes, he was campaigning.
Then he paid back the money.
I don't know.
According to the law, he has to pay back the money. It is not an issue of street discussion. This is the law. You have to respect it. According to that article, if you do not campaign, you do not participate, you withdrew yourself, when you have collected that money, you have to pay it back. The 50% of the money that they are giving you before election, if you withdraw before the polls, know that you have to pay back the money. The article is there for you to go and read it. I'm not the one who is creating it. Okay. So we should not think otherwise.
When you look at this, the CRM says until there is a coalition between this coming together between Chiroma and Bello. If not, they are not endorsing. But when you see some of those who have been very, very close to the CRM already endorsing Chiroma, do you think it could also cause a split within the party where some people, regardless of the position of the official position of the party, going either for Bello or for Chiroma, leaving the leadership alone? Is it possible?
Yes, it's possible, Mr. Leo. And what we have been witnessing is that there's what we call the game of interest. And again, the MRC playing the game of interest in a time where Cameroonians truly need some understanding, in a time where Cameroonians need the people to come out and say the truth, in a time where Cameroonians need the unity, the coalitions. It becomes so problematic because when you look at Maurice Kamto, you look at the position of Maurice Kamto, you look at where Maurice Kamto is coming from, you look at where Issa Chiroma is coming from, you look at where Bello Buba Magare is coming from, then you begin to ask yourself questions. That why Issa Chiroma, why Bello Buba? And then, you know, Maurice Kamto was a former minister in Cameroon. Issa Chiroma also the same, and Bello Buba the same. So when you look at the 12 candidates, these two, that's the Bello Buba and the Issa Chiroma are the only two candidates that Maurice Kamto is putting eye on, and Maurice Kamto is having interest. It means that there is what we call the game of interest. And again, Maurice Kamto maybe
is the CRM. The note was signed not by Maurice Kamto but by Mamadou Mouta.
Yes, it was signed by Mamadou Mouta, who is the vice. I think the
vice. He is the interim.
The interim. Yeah. And Maurice Kamto is also part of it. Maurice Kamto. I don't think that Mamadou Mouta can sign anything without Maurice Kamto being aware of it. So, and if Mamadou Mouta is coming from the northern region, and the question is, why must he choose the two candidates from the same northern region? Why must he choose the two candidates? So, we are saying that the MRC, they are playing the game of interest, and it is not time for them to play the game of interest. It is time for them to look at the suffering of the masses, to look at Cameroonians, where they are coming from and where they are going to, so that they can be able to help the Cameroonians. When you look at MRC, Mr. Leo, MRC have done a lot as far as try to sensitize Cameroonians to register and so on, like what my co-panelists were saying. And then it was a time where Cameroonians wanted them to show somebody, Because when you discover as MRC or maybe Maurice Kamto, you discover that, okay, the game is already over, the Elecam have already pushed me out of the game, it is high time for me to put Cameroon first. That is why when I always watch, maybe listening to the President of America and he said, American first, then I begin to ask myself, why is it that there is no candidate in Cameroon that can say Cameroon first? Because if you say Cameroon first, no matter where you want to submit yourself, no matter where you want to be, the first thing first is that let Cameroonian be liberated. Let Cameroon have that change that we need. So, and if you are focusing on what is happening, I don't think the best candidate that Maurice Kamto or the MRC who have endorsed should be the Chiroma or it should be the Bello, because they are from the same system. So they can do something more better than maybe just thinking of the two candidates from the far north.
Yes, let me take some viewers here. Let me read what they think. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Kamto has proven his nature by abandoning Muna, who supported him in 2018, though a candidate, whereas Kamto is not in 2025. Good evening, Mr. Kum, and your panelist. The barrister is saying the truth. Good evening to all in the platform. I see that Dr. Mark is not encouraging us at all. Also, the lady is encouraging. No, it's not normal calling Cameroonians Bamileke people. Okay, I'm Zifon writing from Bafusam. Good evening to you. Good evening, Mr. Kum. I personally think MRC is envious of other political parties, because what MRC should be looking for is the manifesto for a political party if it matches with its own political agenda, rather than forcing people to form a coalition. In a simple term, MRC is playing games. Acha Terrazone writing. This one says the duty. Greetings to Mr. Liu. MRC is a selfish party. They are playing games of self-centeredness. The duty of a liberal mind party is to endure, not dictate. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Kum. Can I have the number of the CRM? PA, I'm writing from Tico. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the team. Thank you for the work you are doing. I think the CRM needs to act now, because Bello, Puba Maigari, and Issa Chiroma Bakari are not likely to come together to a compromise. Let the CRM act now and get voters focused. Cameroonians need change, and the time is now. Ario Daniels is my name, writing from Kumbu. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Chemboni from Bamenda. Please, special greetings to all the panelists, especially Prof, which I have been following on different platforms. Please find out from Prof which candidate has the civil society chosen for us as he promised. I'm asking this because if the two parties in the north don't form a coalition, it therefore means that CRM will not endorse any candidate, and this will frustrate us. Should these two guys refuse to come together, would you say you've done your job by not asking people to go and vote?
Mr. Gumlio, that the very first thing I would note is that Cameroonians believe a lot in Professor Maurice Kamto, because even when it is the acting president that signed a communique and published it, everyone who wants to point accusing fingers at Professor Maurice Kamto is not strange. It's just as a result of the fact that he has always remained truthful and has been with the people since 2018. Now, my co-panelist, Barrister Akwen, says something here which is really scandalous when he talks of that the Bamileke people are like this and all the like. In fact, I at least expected that from a legal mind, because they are the very first person that are supposed to condemn hate speech, and if he says so, I wonder what he would be going to say, especially if that was to come from the regime in place or somebody of the demagogues that have always been doing everything possible to divide the opposition. So now, looking at the stance of the CRM, I want to say it emphatically that the CRM remains firm with its stance. We think that something can still be done. That's why Mamadou Mota said that it is better a bad coalition rather than nothing. We expect that there could still be a coalition like what Barrister Akeremona did in 2018, because most of you have been fanfaring it on this platform by saying Barrister Akeremona resigned and they supported Professor Maurice Kamto. So we expect if some of those candidates who are running for the 2025 presidential election can still resign even after having collected the 15 million francs, because I know that's one of the things that is still keeping some of them in the race. They may want to go and collect the 15 million francs, maybe cover up the cost of the caution which they had to drop, which is 30 million francs. That's their right. If they can still resign or they can endorse another candidate even during the campaign period, I think the CRM will be very happy about that. The CRM has always stood for the people, and we have always been with them. We said it, and we'll still continue to say that the year 2025 is not a year that we ought to be acting out of emotions. It is a year that we are not going to send our militants into the streets. It's a year that we are not going to ask our militants just to vote for any person because the militants would have to vote for that person because the crowd is running after the person. Remember, it is the person that counts the votes that determine who wins, and not the person that votes. It's the person that counts the vote that determines who wins. So we are talking at this particular juncture that we needed a coalition so that those who are supposed to go into the field, and like the polling station agents, could be well defined. We can lend them their expertise and even use our own resources for that. And knowing that if a coalition comes up, it is going to have a popular backing. The people themselves will be confident in the result that will come out from the polls, rather than one political party saying that I single-handedly made this particular score, that will still leave a lot of doubt in the minds of the people if eventually the results are rigged. But if many political parties can come together, form a coalition, you find that there is that conviction, that legitimate conviction from the people.
You are insisting. We saw these guys meet in Fumban. Nothing came out of it. They sat through in Yaoundé for 3 days. Nothing came out of it. So my question stands with you, is that at the end of the day, if they refuse to come together, you are endorsing nobody.
Mr. Kumleonard, the CRM is not a prophet of doom. I still repeat that we have been saying one of the outings of Mamadou Mota before the recent was that it is better we have a bad coalition rather than having nothing. There's a question of legitimacy of the victory and the legality, and the legitimacy of the victory will only come if we have a popular coalition. There will be that conviction in the people that at least our votes were not being dispersed, they were not wasted. It's just like taking a glass of water to go and pour it inside the ocean. But if we have most of these political parties running for the 2025 presidential election coming together, you find that there is that probability that the legitimacy will be well engraved in the minds of the people.
Semutaga, the CRM won elections in 2018, right? The CRM won elections in 2018, right?
You know it, and that's why I've been saying.
Let me come. No. You have overspoken.
No, you just ask a question. We're not in a kindergarten, Mr. Kumleonard. When you ask a question, you ask a question.
Let me come.
Let me explain to you why.
I've not finished the question. I'm saying that if the CRM won this election, it means that the CRM has a very formidable force on ground, which can easily win an election with the addition of either Issa Chiroma or Bello Buba. Why do you want two before endorsing?
Mr. Kumleonard, I like your intelligence. The very first thing I will say is you are honest to say the CRM won elections in 2018, whereas you have been refusing here on this platform that we didn't say it. My question is like, why would you be saying that only on the eve of the election? Is it because you take pleasure in painting the CRM black or whatever you want to do? I have said it here emphatically, and on most of my outings here, you stop me that no. The Constitutional Council was the one that did it. Today, you are coming back to tell me the CRM won elections. Let me tell you why the CRM won elections.
I'm saying, yes. Supposing you people claim to have won, yes. Right?
Yes.
If you claim,
we do not claim. We have been saying it, and we said we won elections in 2018.
How did you win?
By the fact that we deployed a lot of resources, human resources. Let me explain to you. In 2018, you bear in mind with me that the CM had a well-perfected system of election monitoring. We had polling station agents who were in the field. They were having mobile telephones connected on satellite and not on internet, means that there was not going to be any way that the connections could be disrupted.
Which year?
In 2018.
Please.
In 2018.
Which means that by submission, Ndoki was lying, that whatever she tried was not working.
Ndoki will be talking for herself. She's not even a militant of CRM. Why will you expect me to talk on her for her? Now we are talking about the CRM. You talk of Ndoki. What kind of distraction is that? Now we are talking of the 2025. We are talking of the 2025 presidential elections, and I said that for the opposition to have a legitimate victory, it will come as a result of a popular union.
Okay.
And that's why the CRM has been saying that let these people who think they are acting for the interests of Cameroonians come together. Remember in 2018 they said no, there was no coalition because XY said no, he was not going to be a coalition, and the accusing fingers were at Professor Kamto. Kamto is no longer for 2025 presidential elections. The question I'll be asking Mark Akumbonye is why are these other candidates who are supposed to run for 2025 elections finding it difficult to come together? Is it because Kamto is not there, Ebameleke is not there, associates Ebameleke, they have self-interest and all the like? Is it because he is not there that they are unable to come together?
Please.
No, you said it. That's what you said.
Please.
That's what you said here. That's what you said there. I'm a legal man. Honestly speaking, I said you said it. The tape is there. They can replay the tape. Let people hear what you said.
Please.
And I repeat it.
Please. Sir. Let another person come now. You've spoken for more than 10 minutes now.
No, let me just round up now.
No. Hey. Please. Prof, now, the way things are, you say it's very, very unlikely to see these two come together. And should the MRC or CRM end up not endorsing any candidates, is that going to work in their favor or against them?
Mr. Liu, I want to be categorical here that the electorate is not owned by any party. Individuals who are registered with Elecam might pledge their allegiance to parties, but it doesn't mean that they are owned by those parties. So when the time to vote will come, people will make their choice. But one of the things I want to say here is this: if these two can't come together, which I know will not come together, already there is a momentum that is building behind one candidate, which I think yesterday I also endorsed him as an individual. Chiroma is that individual whom we think at this moment. We know that in Cameroon we have, especially us of the Anglophone expression, the English expression, we have a serious problem with somebody like Chiroma, considering the fact that when he was a minister of communication, there were so many utterances that he made which actually hurts a lot of us. For example, when it comes to the idea of, there was a time he stopped federalism. You are not supposed to use the word federalism on a platform. It was something that hurt a lot of people. There are so many things he said, and people got disturbed. I know. We are angry. I know. But let me be sincere. If we have to look at the situation on the ground, I have looked at the various candidates, and sincerely, I feel like that particular individual, Chiroma, has the momentum it takes, and he needs just a push. And that is why, if you are talking about MRC here today, we're expecting that the MRC, whom is supposed to have been, according to their declaration, the major opposition party, was supposed to come out and say, okay, we endorse this particular candidate so that the rest of Cameroonians can fall behind. But what is their position? Motega said something here which I want to remind him. Before yesterday, before Mutaga, not sir. I don't know where sir is coming from. When yesterday, when the interim president of MRC came out with his declaration, that was not the first time. Maurice Kamto himself, as an individual, had written a communique and sent out asking that the two in the north should come together, which implies it is a general position in the MRC
he has been
hierarchy.
receiving them,
And he has been receiving different individuals and posting it on his Facebook page, which to me is not a bad thing. But the fact that he is holding back from actually making a pronunciation or a pronouncement on this issue is really disheartening. I remember he wrote on his Facebook page that subsequently he's going to make a pronouncement on this particular issue. We are waiting for it. But even if they do not do it, I want to say, Cameroonians, the electorate has the power. The people have the power. And it is the people who have the capacity to decide this election. It is not even a political party. It is not an individual. When we talk, we are not focusing on MRC, nor are we focusing on Maurice Kamto. We are focusing on you, Cameroonians, who have the knife and the yam in your hands. It is our decision to choose our candidate and fall behind that candidate. We should not allow some particular egoistic individuals to ruin our
chance
for change.
Why is focus only on CRM? We have other.
No, I am not focused on. That's why I just said here. That's why I just said here. We should not allow
who are the
egoistic individuals. There are a lot of individuals. There are a lot of egoistic people out there who do not want to support anything. For example, let me say something. If you look, we have been waiting for a coalition. Let me call it an alliance, because I said here there's nothing like a coalition before election. Coalitions always come after elections. Alliances are formed before election. We have been waiting for alliances to be created. But do you know what? People went and sat in Fumban, came back, went and sat in Yaoundé, came back and told us that they are discussing. And you are looking at the time wasting and passing, and you are asking questions. When do they want to do it? And some will come and tell you at the last minute, I am ready to submit my candidacy. I'm to withdraw my candidacy. You start asking this question. Who are they deceiving? They are playing a mind game on Cameroonians. Whereas struggling to wait towards let me go there, that money which they are supposed to receive on Monday, as they, when Atangaji came out yesterday telling Cameroonians that there can be nothing called a consensus candidate or an alliance before, in fact, because already the ballot papers have been printed. You see, he was right that the ballot papers will be present on that particular day for the 12th of October. But one thing that he failed to understand is that people can choose to withdraw at any time and create any alliance they want. It's their choice. It does not concern the state. It does not concern Elecam. What they will fail to do, the only point now is they are abandoning their 30 million caution that they have dropped. They will not get it back. So that is a decision they make. It is not the state to decide it. So if they can do that, it will be good. But I know that the moment Monday comes, it is ended. So how many days are we left? We are having 3 days more. And I don't think that it is too late. But at the same time, I'm saying that it might never happen. So why should I not call Cameroonians, who are the people holding the knife and the yam? You and I are the ones to actually choose. And I have said, for those who are asking, I've seen some people ask that Mr. Liu should ask Prof. Which candidate. That's one of the things he read. I've said our choice for this particular election, he's not my candidate, but he is the person that we should choose for this election, who is Issa Chiroma. Let me use the name so that he gets you well. Let's vote for him. That is what I'm saying.
Okay. So what the civil society ought to have been doing at this particular juncture?
I'm not a civil society sitting here right now.
Okay.
Mark Anthony.
Okay, so you are speaking on your
behalf.
I'm speaking on my behalf.
Yeah, you issued a statement. You issued a statement. Was it this
yesterday?
Please, yesterday.
Are you taking Cameroonians of fools?
Please. Please. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Panelist, I believe Professor Kamto's followers are not foolish and puppets. They should choose a candidate and go and vote. If Professor Kamto likes, he should not go and vote because Bello and Chiroma have not come together. Cameroonians want change, not Kamto. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm asking the CRM of Kamto that who is the person to head the coalition? Issa, who has worked with the CPDM, Bello working with the CPDM, or other candidates who have not worked with the CPDM. Osman is writing from Muyuka. Good evening, Mr. Kuman, all in the studio. I like the condition of CRM. However, if the two candidates don't come together, the CRM should endorse Issa Chiroma. So far, this is the best man for the job. Nge Valerie, writing from Yaoundé. Good evening, Mr. Leo and the panelists. CRM wanting to support a coalition between Bello, Buba, and Chiroma is most likely because of the crowd that these two are currently pulling. No one wants to join a losing team. Nkwa is writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Kum. Thanks for the good job. Tikum Nicodemus from Bamenda. I like what the CRM is doing because it is only by it that these candidates can be forced to come together. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Mr. Leo, please, I have this promise to the CRM. This same game that they try to play will also be played by us, the Cameroonians, who have been betrayed by our beloved opposition. The presidential election is just one of the 3 elections. We are waiting for them during the municipal and the parliamentary elections. I also want to ask the CRM member in the studio, the politics Kamto is trying to play, is it to change this country or just to assume the position of president? I ask, taking into consideration his resignation from MRC and dyingly joining Manidem to assume the presidential position, are they blind to this demonstration of or exhibition of greed and selfishness? Same demonstrated by the ruling party. Tiku Felix is writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Leonard and the panelists. I just want to congratulate you for nation building. I wish the next president of this country award to you. James is watching from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Kum, Leonard, and all the panelists in the studio. With or without the endorsement by Professor Maurice Kamto or the CRM, nothing will change. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. CRM should endorse Metra Keremuna. You scratch my back, I scratch your own. Yes. Do you buy so many persons? I think so. Must the CRM only endorse Akeremuna because he supported them?
No, for me, I think it's not a must. You know, okay. Like they said that you scratch my back, I scratch your own. Yeah. If we want to follow that's what Niger Fruit said some time ago that you scratch that's what actually sorry that politics is scratch my back, I scratch your own. Then we have to fall in that system that Akere or the Kamto need to support Akeremuna. But at this point in time, Mr. Leo, I don't think that should be what we Cameroonian we want from the candidates or from Maurice Kamto, because what we want is change. And if that the MRC or Maurice Kamto have discovered that maybe Akeremuna is not the right candidate, Akeremuna is not the right person that can really bring that that change that we want. And then Maurice Kamto is a politician, and I do believe that he knows all the other politicians, all the other candidates, and sitting where he is presently, in his heart, he knows exactly the right person for the job. Then Maurice Kamto at this point in time, Mr. Leo, not picking a candidate to stand behind or to support is killing Cameroonians, because our prayers or what we want is, when you follow the crowd that Maurice Kamto puts, I mean, during the campaign, during the sensitizations for registration, that's voter registrations and so on, and what he went to France and did, and some of us, we believe that Maurice Kamto was supposed to be the best candidate, but at the end of the day, Electoral pushed him out of the game. And I do believe that Maurice Kamto still have some of the voters that really love him, that really want him to be, and maybe he pointing a finger to a particular directions that this is where I want us to be. I mean, in time like this, not waiting for the right or for the last minute. I think it should be the best thing for him to do, because we still have few days, like Prof. Mark Anthony said. On Monday, I think Monday is the day that they are calling the other candidate to come and collect the first questions. And then I think after that Monday, the chances for the coalitions, the chances for maybe coming together to form a unique candidate will be so slim, or will be so limited. And we pray that Maurice Kamto should do the right thing before Sunday.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Kuman, all in the studio. Please, I pledge I pledge that we should all rally behind Issa Chiroma Bakari. However, I wish to find out the position of Barrister Ashu, the presidential candidate. He has been. Hi guys. He's okay. Prof. Okay. Right. Why is everybody laughing?
Yeah, but he is also a presidential candidate.
Okay.
He was a presidential candidate, Mr.
No, it's declared.
Mr. Leo, if you are even talking about if you are even talking about
That what is he? Yeah, what is his position? Yeah.
The question, the question I myself wanted to ask is, where are the other 80-something candidates that they deposited their candidates?
Why are
because
they not also endorsing?
Yeah,
they
should come out and say and they endorse a candidate, because that's still a coalition that we want.
Okay, the Barrister Akwen. So, how do you see the position of Barrister Akeremuna, because he was a supporter of Professor Maurice Kamto in 2018? Yes, it's true, it's a fact, except you want to deny. And today he's not mentioned. He was received by Professor Maurice Kamto some days back. And today they say what we want is, because formally, the meeting you are citing, Semutaga, it said that you were going to back a coalition of the frontline political parties. But the difference with this one is that it is specific to Issa Chiroma and Bello Buba. That is the difference between the former. That is the difference. Now,
let me. You just asked a question. You mentioned.
No. I was asking you. You were not very comfortable. That is why I brought you back. Yes. Should Akere actually think see himself as being sidelined here, not given what he stands for?
Let me start by clearing my name, because Mr. Motaga have defamed me that I said the Bamili case was selfish. He didn't just understand my language very well. He didn't just understand. He was just being outrageous, trying to defend the undefendable. I forgive him for that. Coming to your question, Mr. Kum, you see, at all times I've been saying that Barrister Akere to me could have been a very probable candidate, but for the fact that he lacked the basic foundation upon which his party has been formed. And if till now he has not redressed that, it is really, really unfortunate. Because me being a lawyer, there is no way I could have left a lawyer to go and be voting for somebody, because I know what the justice system of a country can do, and I know the kind of justice reform that he was going to introduce if he eventually became the president. But now looking at how Mr. Kamto have treated him, or MRC have treated him, by not scratching his back at this time, when he crashed their back that time, it is just to tell you how selfish they, let me put it now, let Mutaga hear me very well. It is just to tell you how selfish MRC is, and whoever is their party leader, whether it is Mustafa or it is Maurice Kamto, it is just how selfish, egoistic, self-centered they are. Because now they are looking at the crowd pulling. Know that people are coming. I don't want to be taken by Mr. Chiroma's crowd. You know why? Because they are looking people, the same person who made old Francis, and coming to listen to the next thing that he is saying and to weigh whether this man can really be serious. I am not moved by his crowd. But to have sidelined for MRC to have sidelined Barrister Akere, and they are now endorsing Mr. Chiroma, who was not a member of the presidential race in 2018. Mr. Bello Buba, who was not a member in 2018, and now sidelining with him.
you can see that they are playing a game of nothing but interest. They are not putting the interest of Cameroonians at heart, because we would have noticed that the manifesto of the different candidates, you can actually tell who has a good plan and how to execute it as far as this new the presidential race is concerned. For the CPDM, they are telling you the same story, that just vote us. What we started, where we are now, we are going to finish it. At least they are telling you that they will finish something that they started. SDF is telling you that instead of doing this, they're going to transform this. That manifesto of SDF, I think that should be the richest. That is the best for all of these candidates. And that of Barrister Akeremuna, because when you fight corruption, you put in place a good justice mechanism and good governance, you have solved 60 to 80% of the problems of Cameroonians. But the elitist nature of his politics. And then at this point, it is not only that Barrister Kele is sidelined. I am seeing Anglophones being sidelined. And that if we don't stand up for our own, then we are heading to another doom of 7 years. I cannot trust somebody who said there was no problem and now he says he wants to solve the problem. From what angle are you coming now to solve the problem? Those are political disputes. It's like you are telling, when you meet a woman for the first time and you want to present love, you tell her everything that she needs to hear. Just test that love for 1 month. You will see that everything that the man said, he will start to reduce all the words and say, you know. That is how I see Mr. Chiroma. Even though for now, Cameroonians they want a change, and like the bishop of Marwa, yes, said Yagua said even they will prefer a devil. You see, Mr. Chiroma is like that devil. But for now, that we trust him that much, we should trust him better. And you take a microscope to look at him and actually x-ray him before you even decide that, even as Prof is saying that it is his candidate. Prof, I am not with you. You are on your own. And then for Mr. Bello, I don't still see Mr. Bello Buba as a candidate who wants the presidency. To me and to my own followers, he is just a distractor in the scene to take away voters in the north. Because if you succeed to dismantle, to take those amount of followers, then you would have reduced what SDF was supposed to have. You reduce what CPDM is supposed to have, but you keep CPDM in place, and you will reduce what other parties are supposed to have. To me, he is just he's just one of those players in the scene who has no business with presidency. And even then, for his age, why should people be voting Bello? Means we just want another ancestor again on the stage. And what if he comes and decides never to leave? What will you do? And then yes. So we cannot, in fact, he is a serious flight risk. And then my problem again with CRM, please, what is happening? Why are you not with the other candidates? We are talking about 12 candidates, because we are not calling CPD. There are 12 other candidates, and you are looking all at Chiroma and Bakari. If it was not selfish interest, tell us again. Tell us again what it was. Where are the other candidates? Because if you go, manning them is purely a Bassa party. It is located in the Bassa area and then part of Douala. You will not hear manning them in the northwest or in the southwest. You cannot. I don't think they can have even up to 200 militants there. Why is he left manning them? Why is he not going there to take those people like Matumba, Cabral and the other people who are coming from that area? Why is he not going there? What is his business in the north? Tell us if it is not selfish politics for self. Cameroonians are not inside that he's in radio. So for Barrister Akere, I just think that unfortunately age may catch him in the next 7 years if he goes back to ground root.
Okay.
Yes, something may come
okay.
up. I was not talking to you in the first place.
Yes, briefly.
Yes, Mr. Leonard, I like the degree of alacrity with which Barrister expresses herself here. She speaks like a whole cent But I wonder if we have sense really on this platform here tonight. You see, what I will say is that barrister speaks like a lawyer and somebody who does not know the intricacies of politics, but I speak like a politician who has been in the field for the last 21 years. So when we are talking of endorsing a candidate for the 2025 presidential elections, and we are talking of just just supporting the candidate because we want to satisfy the people, I think then we are not objective. Because I said here that the objective in this particular election is to win, for the opposition to take over power from the ruling CPDM that has been there for the last 43 years. And the CRM will not be bedeviled by the utterances of whosoever just to make a move simply because we want to satisfy them. We said it, and if those of you are watching us, we want to be very realistic and objective, maybe diplomatic and logical, you understand that the mere fact that two candidates from the northern region who said they just split from the government on the eve of elections are for the interest of the opposition, when we know they can easily split the electorate, the votes in the northern region, and they are unable to come into a coalition, and the CRM is saying that if they don't come into a coalition, they will not be endorsing them. It is an indirect way to tell that the CRM is endorsing other candidates, the rest of the candidates, meaning that if these two cannot join, you should go and vote for them. Why are you not willing to put that option on the table? You are just only contented in seeing how you want to diabolize the CRM, since it has all in your logic. The CRM is a party that everybody has to throw stones there so as to be known and well seen as a Cameroonian that has something to say. Like I said here, we still remain steadfast and we hold to our stand. If Issa Chiroma and Bello Buba cannot come into a coalition, let them forget the support of the CRM. And we have not said we cannot support another candidate. That is not stated anywhere. We said if Issa Chiroma and Bello Buba cannot come into coalition, let them forget the endorsement of the CRM. And I said that Engineer Mamadou Mota said...
Is that what that communique says?
He said if they cannot come into a coalition, let them forget the support of the CRM. Do you not have the communique? Okay. You have the communique.
It says that you can endorse some other person?
The main fact that that option is not set, don't you think it is feasible? So now, what I'm saying is that you should know that we want to win elections in 2025, and we are not in the motion of a punking or a hide and seek, where some people will hide behind their keyboards or hide behind a casket and begin to say, no, the CRM is not working for the interests of this and all the like. I ask myself, how many militants or how many activists of the civil society have been persecuted in this nation, have suffered the injustice of this nation like the CRM, that you think that they are not fighting? We sacrificed our militants in 2020 simply because we said we could not go in for an election that was going to end up in a fiasco. And we said, okay, let there be a consensual reform of the electoral system. Professor Kamto even went further to ask for the publication of the national electoral list, which some of these guys who are running for elections said, no, it's not a panacea, it's not necessary. You find the utterances of recent, they said, no, we are suspicious that there are about 2 million fictitious voters who are on the list. They will be going in. In fact, what we are saying is that it is better we have a bad alliance, or you call it a coalition, on the eve of 2025 before the election, so that the people will not go to throw their votes as throwing a glass of water in the ocean. We want victory in 2025, and that's what the CRM has been working for since the last presidential election, to win again this election in 2025, and we have worked so much to waste our energy just because we want to satisfy the public. No. The public that is there should be ready to use their brains are not in the pockets of the CRM.
Okay, yes, but do you understand this endorsement of the parties so far? It is true that other Honorable Tomainu Namdria says she was endorsed by 20 parties and civil society organizations. Here, Serge Matumba also claims to have been endorsed by over 30 political parties. But you guys are making me to laugh on this platform. But, yes, but I'm talking about when you look at can we see a candidate who has received concrete endorsement for heavyweights?
Yes, there is. There is Anisit, who is the president of a political party, who, along with, I'm forgetting that his name, created
the Douala Group?
In fact, the Douala Group distanced themselves from it and said the two went ahead to create the Union pour le Changement.
The Union for Change.
Yes, Union for Change.
It's Sambaka who says it's just one person, it's Sambaka.
Yes, yeah, it's Sambaka who said it.
That's not part of the Douala Group, yes.
So, let's say the Douala Group, which was made, is an alliance of other political parties.
The key members of the Douala Group, you have Jukam.
Yes.
You have Anise Ikane, you have, there was about, you know, yeah.
Okay. So, these guys have created a Union for Change, 2025. And they came up, said they were endorsing their own, let me use the word, they were looking for a consensus candidate, which they finally appointed or nominated their own candidate. And who is that? Issa Chiroma. And apart from that, most of us know Alice Come in Cameroon as one of the first lawyers, female lawyers in this. In fact, the first, not one of the first. She's the first female lawyer in Cameroon. And so, okay, apart from that, I think there is also this lady in France,
Calice
Béale, who also has endorsed Issa Chiroma.
You have Brigade Anti-Sadina in France.
Voila. Brigade Anti-Sadina, who used to stand with MRC, has shifted CAM, and they are now with Maurice Kamto.
No,
I mean with Issa Chiroma. That
no, but they said
you guys are struggling to think
they said it.
And this to me is I want to think that it is a wind of change that is blowing across. And any wise Cameroonian, I think I know Barrister just told me here that I'm on my own, but I'm speaking on my own. Yeah, on this case. No, why? No, the civil society has not yet made any pronouncement. I'm doing it as an individual. I am off, but I am not speaking on their behalf. I'm speaking on my behalf. Mark Anthony Akumbom. And what I sent is my statement I sent yesterday was signed with my name.
Which incarnate. So, are you taking us as fools?
Apart from that, one of the things I want to believe is that at a time like this, Cameroonians know what is good for them. We all are decrying the bad governance. We are talking about the bad roads that we have, corruption and whatsoever, and many that you can name. And the choice depends on us. I'll still say it. We have already seen how this wind is blowing. Even if we think that the person I just mentioned, Issa Chiroma, is a devil, in quotes, please, your thoughts about him should not only be based on the past. People can repent. We have pastors who can defend this here on this platform, including myself. People can change. And repentance is something that is supposed to, in fact, we are supposed to be praying for every day, that people should change for good. And if somebody has actually come to you people, told you people, I'm not campaigning, and told you people that he has changed, then let's consider his change and give him the chance. It is very important. Don't get up and claim that maybe this person did like this last year.
Okay, we don't have time. We are out of time. We are out of time for the second topic, but very briefly we are going to be looking at it. I want us to profile the existing panelists. I want us to profile them. When you look across, what are the chances of these young guys? What are the chances of Cabral Libby, OC, Akere, and all of them?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Liu. The truth should be told. If the coalitions, or if all these other candidates
came together,
if they are not coming together, or if they have refused to come together, their chances are, in fact, their chances are slim. I mean, they will not make any name, because we have studied the CPDM. We know what the CPDM can do. That is why you see all Cameroonians, they are crying for the coming together. Now, if we are talking about the CPDM, we talk about a party that they have everything. They have that's the human resource, the materials, the institutions, and what have you. So, as the oppositions or maybe the other candidates for the presidential elections are listening to us on this platform today, if they are not coming together to form that coalition, to form that alliance, their chances will be so slim, Mr. Liu.
Can you go, at least you master some of them, can you go through them and tell us about their chances of making it through?
For their profile, like I said previously, CPDM has already put together what it takes for them to secure victory within the 10 regions of Cameroon. Now, going to SDF, I don't know, SDF, with their very beautiful manifesto, they are not giving that push and rigor that it deserves at this point in time. And then their media, their communication links, in fact, they're not communicating to the public. Their level of communication is still very low. With the number of social media forums that we have, they should have done better than that. And I don't know what Mr. Joshua Osei is thinking. Perhaps he has his strategy, but for now, they are like, in fact, because I don't know how Mr. Chiroma will come all of a sudden and then is taking the stage when SDF has been there for 35 good years. They have to do something with the level of their publicity. That manifesto have to reach to the last and let them actually know what they are talking about, given that they are the mother party that MRC is actually reaping the fruits or the work that SDF did, because most of their militants, their hardcore militants, they are with MRC. So MRC should release them because that is those are SDF's candidates. Yes. And then for Barrister Akere, his foundation was just my problem from the beginning, is now until he goes back to make a foundation. Maybe I don't know whether he's going to start from Momo Division, starts in Benguin, then or come to Bamenda, or take the lawyer as his base. Even now, maybe he can try to convince the lawyers. At least we have about 3,000 to 4,000 lawyers now in Cameroon. We can give him that vote, but 3,000, 4,000 will not secure. Maybe, and then the other population that he has can help. But he has to do something with us, his colleagues, so that we can see how to support him. We are not feeling him here. Then for Eteki, where is he? Some of them have just disappeared like the morning dew. Where is Eteki and Iodi? We are not seeing them again. They were like on social media. Iodi was like on the social media. He has social media followers. He doesn't have real followers because we are not feeling him. We always hear them from one station to another. But now, a person in Nwa, how does he even have electricity? And how often would they even have money to buy fuel to put in their generator to watch him and so on and so forth? So you see, those are some of the issues that they have. They have not gone to the Northwest. They have not gone, even if they said ghost town. When people want to go and vote, you feel a party will still have 100% in the Northwest when you ask whether goes to vote or who did. And then Eteki has disappeared. We don't hear about him. But that is his brother, is Barrister Akere. Why is he not going to Big Brother to say this thing? All of us want change. Why is he solo? So some of those probably you see that some of them came into the scene like they were.
You're coming back from coalition.
Like they were bought. Don't disturb me. And then we see people like Matumba and the rest. You see, they are just still limited within the Bassa area and along the littoral belt. The littoral, they have not even extended up to Limbe or to, because the littoral will mean right up to Ekondo, Titi, to Kribi. They are still within some tribe, and I just think that some of them, they just want to be actors in the scene and waiting for their municipal and parliamentary elections. They know that if it comes to the presidency, they cannot get there. They cannot make a name there. So they are just wanting to be busy and then be seen in the scene, so that subsequently they can be relevant to their, so that it will remain relevant to their militants and sympathizers so far. But Mr. Osi needs to work hard with his media coverage and his social outing. Cabral, all of them, I put them and Matumba in that Bassa block, that they are just like there. Because I've not seen any of them saying that they are going to the Northwest.
For President Biya, I have known he will come here to Douala, he's going to the west, he's going to the southwest, then he will go to the north. At least he has. No, himself in person. In person. Yes, he is going to do those. President Biya is coming back.
The campaign manager.
He is coming back. He will do all those coverage.
The campaign manager.
So the other people, I have not seen where they said, let some of them go to Mafe. They have to go to Mafe. They have to go to Akwaya. They have to go to Mwa. They have to go to Santa, my voting constituency. They have to go. Let them go there, and then we will know that they are actually ready for the presidential race. If not, they are not ready.
Okay, Semutaga, you know some of them. They are colleagues. It is true that the CRM is not taking part. What are the strengths of some candidates and their weaknesses?
It's true we are forbidden to talk about any candidate at this particular juncture, but for the fact that I'm an evangelist and I have that obligation to say the truth. Yes, like I said, I'm an evangelist, I have the obligation. Besides being a politician, I'm an evangelist. We have a gentleman like Chiroma, who is like the old Saul, who is, you know, in the Bible we get our Apostle Paul that was Saul, that was going to Damascus to persecute the children of God, and the God said, "Oh Saul, why are you persecuting my people?" And finally there was a transformation, and then he became the one that wrote the greater portion of the New Testament. So I don't want to say his newfound religion, that of being for the opposition, is questionable. We can give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, if you want to take a person like Barrister Akeremuna, whom I respect so much for his steadfastness in fighting corruption and other social ills in the nation, I think he has a better chance of leading this country as a president. If you get a man like Joshua Osinabangi, who is an experienced politician, he has been with the SDF for so long, he also deserves a chance. Now you get somebody, Libi, Cameroonians can judge for themselves. You have somebody like Ateki. I have been with him on some social media platform, and I've had the opportunity to listen to him talk. He's a very intelligent young man. If given the chance, he can be a good president. So what is really disturbing me as a politician of the opposition that has suffered a lot, especially from the regime, the repression, the persecution, is that we are in the 2025 where we ought not just to be appreciating individuals, but appreciating the collective efforts of the individual to ensure that there is change. And that's why we of the CRM are still talking of a coalition better late than never.
Okay, better late than never. I want to take one or two from greetings, Mr. Leo. The CRM stands on a coalition between Issa and Bello. To me, it's a wise strategy because it will expose who between the two of them is working with the ruling party. Emmanuel is writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Kum. Thank you for the insightful program. It is most enjoyable. Please convey my regards to the professor and the barrister in the studio. I'm particularly impressed with the professor's perspective on the upcoming October 12th elections. It is a powerful reminder that history awaits the decisions we make. Sincerely, Dr. Issa, writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Paul, writing from Boya. Madam Barrister is speaking my mind. CRM and Kamto don't have the interests of Cameroonians at heart. Let the endorsement start with you guys there in the studio. Could you join the endorse one now? Good evening, Mr. Leo, and to all in the studio. All those people endorsing Issa Chiroma, have they forgotten what Cameroonians went through in the hands of Amadou Ahidjo? I would rather we remain under the CPDM regime than power going back to the north. Cameroonians are truly not ready for change. Eve is writing from Chang. Good evening, Mr. Kum. CRM and Kamto will not help orientate Cameroonian voters. Our only reliable and trusted orientation is the civil society, and they need to give us directions as fast as possible. But the truth be told, Issa Chiroma is not the best name. Divine is writing from Tico. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Barrister Akwen is not positive. I see like she just being angry as her SDF is not smelling the front line. Okay. She's not, I will tell you, she's not a member of the CRM.
The SDF.
Of the SDF, no. Good evening to all in the studio. It's a pity that Mr. Kamto doesn't feel for the suffering masses. He has proven beyond all reasonable doubts that he was just a distractor and not aimed at taking over power. His action says it all. He should stop wasting our precious time. Cameroon doesn't have a serious opposition party aside from late Frundi. Biya has already won overwhelmingly even before October 12th. We should start getting ready to carry on with our suffering for the next 7 years till God decides to come to our aid. Our so-called opposition leaders are a disgrace to this country, and posterity shall hold them accountable for deceiving us. This is Mr. Free writing from Bamenda. Good evening. Good evening to the panel. Mr. Liu, we thank you people for educating Cameroonians. I want to say that what Cameroonians need from any of the candidates is the person who would give Cameroonians transitional government of one term. Aji Achu is writing from Limbe. This one says, thanks the lady for us. She talks the mind of the people. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please call Senior Barrister Ashu to come back.
What's the problem with Senior Barrister Ashu? Ashu will be a candidate.
Say,
He will be.
we want him to come back. We want to vote for him. How come?
You want to vote for somebody
Who is not even a candidate?
some of this?
Make them to understand that Barrister Ashu is not a candidate.
They know. I don't know why they're just.
Because going at the way they spoke here, it was so serious.
Yeah.
Mr. Leo, in relation to the various candidates that we have in place,
Yeah.
there is one statistics that English Cameroon for United Cameroon actually sends out the last time, which showed Issa Chiroma leading their poll with about 40-something%, then Cabral Libi with about 16%, Mr. Biya with about, who's committed with about 4-point-something. Then after that you had Akeremuna, then in fact we can even forget the others. But if you look at that stuff, I want to say that if we have to look at candidates by candidate, the SDF has the best program so far. Haven't gone through the various programs. Let's be objective. That's the best program to revamp this country and transform it. One of the things I have been looking at was the fight that a candidate is supposed to possess in his eyes, in his heart, in his eyes. That charisma, that makes people want to believe in you just by seeing you talk. What Frundi had, that is the secret of Frundi. He had the charisma. He had a fight in him. And whatsoever he said, people believed, was not because he had a very powerful program. But unfortunately, today we have the chairman with a very powerful program, but he is cold in relation to how he presents his. Then he seems to be cut out from the people. He's not relating with the people. Why? Because the people can't say we need a coalition, then you go on air and you tell them that I cannot form a coalition with this person because of my values. It is wrong. Use a political language as a politician to quote your words, to tell them that, okay, don't bother, we are working and waiting to see how they will bring us together. But when you openly say, I will not for my values, you are not working for the people. You are working for yourself. That is a weakness that I saw there, which to me, if O.C. Joshua could readdress that issue, he would have been one of the best candidates, but it does not, it's late. Then you also have one charismatic young man, Cabral Libi. He's having fire in him. But you know, the problem is now there is a problem with distrust that is coming from the electorate towards him. And that might be based on the fact that Cameroonians see politics not as a battle of ideologies, but rather as enmity, which implies in their mind, when you are from this party, you are supposed to hate the person who is coming from that party, which is wrong, especially if you are in opposition. You are not supposed to have anything to do with the ruling CPDM, even to talk with them. It is not okay. That's not politics. And that is where he has a problem. Distrust that is coming from the people. But he has the charisma. The problem also is the program he's presenting is not the best of the programs that we think that can bring Cameroon to the place of prominence as we expect. Going back to look at somebody like Chiroma, I will tell you that is supposed to be one of the best leaders in this country. That's a person that if he takes Cameroon, he will be the best. He will bring Cameroon to a place where I don't think that in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, if they give it to somebody, he will take it to. But there is a problem also. He seems not to be anywhere, though he's everywhere. He's visiting places, but you don't feel the touch. Why? Connection with the grassroots is not there, with the people is not there. His communication team is missing in action. In fact, I don't know if he has a plan of action, and that's where there is another problem. Then I've seen Ateke. The first time I was asked about him, truth be told, I knew little about him. I never knew him. He just came from, he was a civil society and just stepped into politics. That is a good transition, but you don't just transit like that and then want to run for presidency. That was the greatest mistake that the party made in pushing him to run for the presidency, maybe because they wanted an Anglophone. He might be one of the young people whom we are expecting that in the future he will do best. But as of now, this presidential election, Mr. Leo, I don't see him making any impact. Then looking at EOD has been a, I think, YCPDM or CPDM representative in Canada before coming to Cameroon, and
that was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
I had him here. He
Yes.
explained all of those. He went into the CPDM 2013 for 6 months. He said he got there and saw that things were not the best, and then he dropped. Remember that he was a coordinator of the campaign for Akeremuna. 2018, he was the one who was coordinating the campaigns. So he left. It was after the elections. It was after the elections that the 2018 elections that he created
decided to
the
create
MP3
Okay.
political party that has been existing. Yeah.
Okay, so with EOD, if you look at it practically, people have little or no knowledge about EOD, and truth be told, his impact on the field is not felt. And so in that respect, I don't think he will have much to do. But I see him as a young man who has, for the fact that he boldly stepped up, he's going to be very useful in the future.
He has a strong influence on social media amongst young people.
Yeah,
very strong.
You see, that's the problem. Social media is limited to not to all voters. It's limited to few people. Also, if you look at CDU, Patricia Ndamjoya, who is also a youth, a young, let me say a young candidate, because if you have to look, him and Osi Joshua, Osi is 2 years older than her, if you do not know that. Yes, so you know, no. If you look at her, she being a young, getting to her 60s, you can realize that she still have hopes, but she is limited. Why? Because her party, first of all, has a particular fief in which they are strong in. And I don't think that she came into the presidential election actually to win the presidential election. She has a program which I know little about, and I think that she's not having the weight that would, even though I heard her saying that 20 civil society leaders,
political
parties and civil society endorse her, I don't see that even creating any impact in any way. But that's one of the persons who has been behind the whole idea of saying that, okay, let's form a coalition. And the first meeting for the coalition, that the dreamed coalition, or in fact the nightmare coalition, that's the right word that she used, actually took place in Fumban. And so with that, if you look at it, and you come now, we talk of Pierre Kwemo. That one, I saw his impact in the north. He went to the north, he went to the east, he has been moving up and down. But the truth is, he's not having the weight that we expect. So what I would have expected is they would have heeded to the call of Cameroonians to come together, create a coalition long ago. Such would have been, they would have been respected in the history of this country.
Okay.
But they have lost that respect.
We are out of time, and we're going to be ending at this juncture. Thank you for coming, Semutaga.
Yes, Mr. Kumliona, just a minute. Let me use this opportunity to thank the English Law Alumni Club of the University of Douala that have been watching this program. They just told me that they will be having a conference on the 27th of September. That's to drill Cameroonians on the importance of Hada law in Semak. So I want to thank them, thank the professors who are watching this program, and they told me it's been a very wonderful program. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. We expect that these political parties will form a coalition so that we will be able to have the victory the opposition has been long waiting for.
So that you can endorse. Thank you for coming, Prof. Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. I still want to remind Cameroonians, we have the knife and the yam, and I expect you to join me. Let's rally behind the person who is having the momentum right now, whom we believe that by his push, by our push, he can actually push down the Jericho wall that has been standing in front of us for more than 42 years. Okay. Let's join Issa Chiroma.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Leonard. And if I'm to endorse a candidate, I should say that Barrister Chiroma is the best.
Okay. You're endorsing Barrister Chiroma. Yes.
You're finally endorsing candidate this night. Who is that? You are already doing it.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, Mr. Leo, it's my pleasure to have been on this platform today. I'm so happy to be here with Prof and MRC. But I just want to tell our viewers that they should not be held ransom by the ideologies of a particular political party. Make your choice from amongst the candidates that you think they can bring the change that we so deserve. If the other party, they are not in the race, let them just leave Cameroonians with their liberty that they choose to enter their party to be able to come out and vote. It is not a cult, it is not a tribal junkie house, so nobody should be held ransom. Go and make sure you cast your vote to your choice candidate. Nobody should dictate that to you.
Okay, we want to thank the production team for the wonderful job, and to all of you for watching. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.